All right. Welcome, everybody. We are just getting started here for the day. Just started the recording. And at this point, I would like to give me 1 second here. I'd like to introduce you to someone that I really look up to, and the person who's going to be our featured speaker for the day. And that is none other than Mr. Christian Sadler. Now, I got to say, there are few people in this world I've met who are as committed to service as Christian Sadler is. He truly epitomizes the term servant leadership that we strive for here at Renatus and Team Elevate. Just last week, before the Four Pillars event, Christian came up to me and asked how he could be of value to my business. Now, he didn't have to do that, but he wanted to, because that's what Christian does. This is a leader who has completed countless real estate transactions, some of which have individually netted over six figures. He's been gracious enough to share this with us. And he's been in the real estate business for over 13 years. And Christian has really taken the business from the head to his heart. And this is apparent with the way he approaches business by putting people before profits. From working a daily wage job in steel fabrication to becoming a successful real estate entrepreneur, Christian attributes a lot of his success to constantly getting around people he wanted to be like. You know, showing up early, staying late, and constantly helping out wherever he could. Now, we have the good fortune to have him as our speaker for the day. So without further delay, I'd like to bring online one of the founding members of Team Elevate, a PIT member, Mr. Christian Sadler. Good morning, Christian. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Abby. Hey, man, I appreciate the introduction and I appreciate you being here to help run these calls. And really, I just appreciate everything that you do, Abby. I see you continue to show up and serve this community and give up your time and your effort and your energy. And you always have a positive attitude, and you bring that that really good energy with you. So thank you for everything that you do, and thanks for starting out this call. I want to welcome everybody. Congratulations for you guys for being here. You know, you get to see a lot about who's serious about their business by who shows up consistently, right? That's what it really comes down to. And they say that 90% of success is just showing up. So showing up is a big part of it, and that is for sure. So let me stop a couple of videos here just to get those out of the way. And today I just wanted to chat with you guys about, being proactive with the way you utilize your social media. The thing about social media is it can absolutely pull you into almost a black hole. And I think everybody knows what I'm talking about when I throw that out there, right? You could easily get into going around and around in circles and seeing and commenting and liking and and all those things, which are not necessarily always going to add to your bottom line, right? Not always going to add to your networking. But there are certain things that you can do where you can create engagement. And that's what your goal is, right? Your goal is engagement with people, especially if you can have that engagement specific towards your business, right? Where people are asking you for information about what it is that you do. And, I've went through some things in the past where, you can actually absolutely put a post out there that just says, hey, many of you may know that I'm in real estate, but many of you may not realize how, this new business could benefit you or someone that you know. So let me just list those off for you. And then you can go ahead and list the different benefits. And, that's a way to just, directly put it out there and do that. One of the best posts, I guess, I ever put is I put a post out there that just said, honest question, how can I help you? And, I got all kinds of different responses, and some of them were just kind of crazy and kooky. And some of them were, hey, borrow my money for your fix and flip deals. I want to lend my money to you. And some of it was, help me learn the ropes of real estate. And, I even had somebody who was a guest of an IMA that said, help me figure out a way to get my education with Renatus. So it was very interesting how, a very, let's say, not direct approach brought direct results. And so we'll actually create a post on here, and we can put that together before we end the call today. But one of the things I wanted to share with you guys is just some interaction that I had the other day by going into a group. And there's lots of different groups out there. There's real estate specific groups. There's sales specific groups. There's, all kinds of things. And you guys can even create your own groups. What I found though, if you get to some of the bigger groups that have a lot of people, and I'm actually going to share my screen here in a minute. If you get into some of these bigger groups, then you have a higher likelihood of engagement from simple things. And the interesting thing is you can post into those groups, and I have had results by doing that. But I feel like I've had more results from just simple little comments on other people's posts within a group. And so I'm just going to show you one example of that and some of the messages that came, from this simple posting. So what I want you to do is don't go do the exact same thing in the same group, right? Find a group and figure out a way that you can simply make little comments that can bring people your way. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the psychology behind, this particular post, my comment, and, my responses to these individuals. So let me go ahead and share over here. I'm going to share my screen. And we're already over here at Facebook. Let me move this out of the way as far as the controls. All right, so I just happen to be in this group, and I just happen to see this this simple post. And the post in there was from Niles Bollinger, and he said, "Who has something that you could train someone to sell quickly that pays a commission of $500 plus per sale?" Well, obviously, we have that opportunity, right? Now, you'll see that some people in here are like, they want to go ahead and give all kinds of details and say, well, this product or that product and this and that. And all I did was said, I do. So it was pretty simple, right? Now, I didn't expect a lot of results from that, and please understand that every time you comment on something does not mean that you're going to get all kinds of results. But I want to talk to you about the psychology of what came next, because he said, Christian Sadler, details. Now, I didn't want to go into a lot of details, because if I go into the details here, if I fulfill their intrigue in the comments, then nobody needs to ask me any questions. And your goal here is engagement, right? You want people asking you questions. So I said, it's educational products. Send me a personal message if you really want to know more. And then, boom, he sent me a message right away. Like literally, he saw that comment, and he sent me a message. So we'll start with that. So again, simple things, simple little comments on inside groups. The other thing I've done is like real estate groups, for example. And I don't have any pulled up that I can show you right now, but I've asked for opinions on, how somebody else would explain a deal that I've done, or I've posted in groups and said, hey, I'm working on this deal. We have the opportunity to put a half bath or a 3/4 bath. What would you do? There's 2 bedrooms down here, and and everybody came back with full baths, and then people started watching my videos. People started seeing what I was doing, right? And that's kind of the goal with creating engagement inside these groups. Now, again, you don't want to spend a ton of time just meandering through these groups. You want to go in, find something specific that you can comment on, and leave it at that. And here's the great part about it is when you comment on something within a group, depending on the group settings, but most of the time, if you comment on something within the group, it's actually going to bring it to the top of the list. It's going to bring it to the top of the group. And so again, he sent me a personal message right away. So we'll switch over here, and here's what he said. He said, I would love some info on selling your educational products. Now, here's my psychology behind this, guys. For me, I've found that if I jump to any type of an invite too early, then usually the people disappear, right? Usually the people just disappear. So what I've found, and this I have to remind myself over and over again, right, is I got to ask at least 3 questions before I make any type of an invite. So 3 questions before an invite when you have somebody messaging you asking about your business. So this also has to do with warm market. It's the most interesting thing. I've had people from my warm market, comment on something and talk about how they've always wanted to be in real estate, and they're just wondering what they need to do, and they would love some advice. They would love the opportunity, whatever. And then if I jump right to an invite, because I've done it in the past plenty of times, if I jump right to an invite, all of a sudden they kind of go cold. So what I've found, what my rule has been, is I've got to ask at least 3 questions first, which comes down to the training, right, that we've had over time. You've got to qualify people for your time. You've got to qualify people in order to to make an invite for them. And so people want to feel like they're qualifying for your time, whether they realize it or not, because actions speak louder than words. And what I found is if I don't qualify people, if I don't ask lots of questions, guess what? They disappear. But if I do ask a lot of questions, they're more likely to show up or watch a video or whatever it is. All right, now you can see he's in Louisiana. So this is a national group. These people are from all over the place. And so we're talking sales, and I ended up using a video, and I'll show you. I think it was 4 people total that reached out to me based off this one little post. So I would love some more information. I said, sure thing. Are you looking for something you can sell personally or inquiring for someone else? And then he went in and he said, potentially both. I'm working on gathering a list of opportunities that new salespeople can pick up quickly and start earning commissions within a week. I will most likely implement some of the most successful options personally as well. And then I said, what are you mainly looking for in these opportunities, right? So I'm getting him to qualify. Something that can be learned in a week, less, and where sales can be made immediately afterwards, preferably 500 plus commission. I said, independent affiliate opportunities, okay? And he said, yes. So 3 questions, right? A minimum of 3 questions. Now he said yes. I said, cool. If I send you an in-depth video about our earnings plan, will you take the time to watch it? Right? I'm asking him, will you take the time to watch it? Because guess what? If he didn't say yes, I'm not going to send it to him. I'm not going to send him a video if he can't tell me that he's absolutely going to take the time to watch it. He said, how long is it? I usually enjoy things like that. I said, it's only 28 minutes and was put together by one of our top reps who was over 700K in commissions for 2018. He said, sounds good. Happy to take a look. I said, what's a good email and phone number for you? Now, why am I doing this? Why am I asking this before I send anything? Why am I asking for email and phone number? Because I'm going to switch over and I'm going to register him in CAMS. So if we just go right here, I'm going to show you guys how I did this. We're going to show you with all, all of these guests. So because it's a video, I'm going to use the on-demand events. And so there's on-demand sent right here, and then there's on-demand confirmed right here, okay? So what I did was I went on to the following Monday, right? This is today, and it was actually earlier in the week, so I went to the following Monday in the sent. And I just went ahead and actually, I'm not seeing his registration. Where did I put him? this one. Oh, I may have been logged out. I've got to log back in. I was like, I know, I registered them. Let me just log back in real quick. And I want to show you guys these events, at least on the Utah calendar, and you guys probably have them on your calendars as well. Come on here. Just jumping over, getting the events. And then if you come down the following Monday in the Scent, and you can see Niles Bollinger, I went ahead and registered him. Now what you'll notice is I registered John Warner before I registered Niles because I was having multiple conversations with these guys at the same time. And so we'll get over there and we'll talk about that. But anyway, so I got his email and phone number. And then I said, so this was actually built as a training for reps. So you can jump to 3 minutes and 50 seconds to get to the meat. And then I sent him the comp plan video. So this is a video that Michael Huggins put together, hence the explanation, right? And comp plan training. And if you guys want the link to this, it's just mytrainingtools.com/comp plan training. And you'll get right to it. So you can jump in there and you can utilize this. You're going to want to watch it yourself first so you can properly prepare people for what they're going to see. And so that's where my proper preparation was. This was actually built as a training for reps, right? Because if you watch the video, it's not just an explanation of the comp plan, it's a training for reps. It's explaining it in a training form. And so I want him to know that, and that way he, it's not going to it's not going to throw him off. He's not going to feel weird about it, right? So he said, awesome, I'll watch it tonight or early tomorrow. And I said, let's talk afterwards. He gave me a thumbs up. And then he said, this comp plan's a bit complicated. How are you finding customers and how successful have you been? And then I just told him about my success, right? I use low-cost guerrilla marketing strategies, including social media, roadside signs. There's a much more simple way to look at it. Buy one, sell two, the rest pay you. 50% commission, $1,000 to $10,000. And then he said, is there an information page where I can read through the details of each package? And then I said, let me see what I can pull together for you. Typically, this is an event-driven business. And so I need to respond to Niles, but what I can do is I can come back over here to the calendar, right? So I registered him in the on-demand sent. So if you're going to send somebody a video, that's when you're going to use this on-demand sent, because I don't know that he's watched it yet. And you can't really claim somebody as your guest if you haven't gotten them in front of the information, right? You've got to first get them in front of the information. Now, once he was in front of the information, I can come over here and I can go to on-demand confirm, because he confirmed that he watched the video. So I can now use an existing guest. I can type in Niles and put in Niles Bollinger, add to the cart, complete registration, because he has definitely watched the video based on that conversation. So on-demand confirmed is anybody that you've gotten in front of the information if it's not a standard meeting. So if you didn't get them to like a 5 pillars event or a cash flow game or a super Saturday or, an intensive, if you did, you don't have to worry about this part. You're just going to register them for the event that they're going to. But if you're meeting with somebody one-on-one, if you're doing a cash recovery party, if you're doing any of those types of things, then you can use this on-demand confirmed. You always want to register them in the following Monday. You never want to register them in the Monday prior or the Monday of. Because what happens is anybody that's in the on-demand confirmed, meaning that you can confirm they've been in front of the information, those people are going to get checked in, and therefore they're going to be tied to you in CAMs. Now, please know that you do not want to abuse this system, because if it's seen that you're abusing this, first of all, it's a violation of your IMA agreement, and second of all, you may ruin it for everybody else, because if this type of event is being abused by people, and you're doing data dumps into the on-demand and just tying a bunch of people to you that you haven't actually got in front of the information, you could actually ruin it for everybody. And so I just want to forewarn you with that. But utilize these, folks. If you're sending people videos, use the sent. If you then confirm that they watched the video, use the confirmed, right? Use the confirmed one. So that was one conversation. Now, the interesting thing about it wasn't just Niles right here that started responding. Other people are watching this whole thread, right? And so if we switch over here, we also had, if you noticed, where is he at? John. John reached out to me as well. And remember, I want to ask a minimum of 3 questions. So John said, can you share your educational materials with me? And I said, you're looking for a product to sell? He said, yes. I said, yeah, I'd be happy to get you more info. How long have you been in sales? And then he went in, 20 plus years, pharma, medical training, insurance, water purification system. Excelled in all of them. Is there a need and an interest there? How's the training? I said, nice. Definite need and interest, daily training from top income earners. How soon are you looking to start something, right? So I'm not ignoring his question necessarily, right? But I'm giving brief answers, and then I'm asking another question. He said, next week, are there specific hours, phone sales, leads, initial investment? I said, lots of great questions. Do you have time to watch an in-depth video on our earnings plan? And he said, sure. And then he sent me his email right away. I said, cool, I'll shoot it over. What's a good phone number for you? I want email and phone number before I send the video. So then I said the same thing. So this was actually built as a training for reps by one of our top income earners and one of my best friends. He cleared over $700K last year in commissions. I said you can skip to 3 minutes, 50 seconds if you want to get into the meat, right? So same thing. I'm explaining what he's going to see, kind of giving him that idea, and then I went ahead and registered him in the on-demand sent. Now, I want to reach back out to John, right, and just see, did you have a chance? Because if he's watched it, I want to go ahead and register him in and put him in the on-demand confirmed, right? And, of course, I want to follow up with him. I want to move him to the next step. Now, Fred Hinton is another guy. He reached out. So you're going to see same format. I would like info on the educational products that making money. I said, you looking for a new sales gig? He said, yes. He said, and then I went through, awesome. What's your sales experience? Ran a thrift store. Have you ever done anything independent sales or affiliate marketing? He said, not really. I said, anything over the phone or internet at all? I said, I have done internet phones years ago. I said, gotcha. So you're comfortable with working on your own without a lot of oversight. So you can see here, I'm based on his answers, I'm asking more qualified questions. He said, very. I said, I can shoot you over an in-depth video or our earnings plan. When do you think you'll have time to watch it? He said, now. I said, what's a good number and email address? Now what happened was I accidentally had put in the link, and then I had deleted the thing because I wanted to make sure I asked this, but for some reason it left the link in there. It took him over there. So I just went ahead and asked, and then I did an explanation. Now, normally I would have just asked this question, waited for him to respond, and then I would have explained what the video is. But since the video already came across, I wanted to get that explanation in there. Didn't matter too much because he sent me his email and phone number anyways. And then I said, let's talk after you watch it. So same thing. I just need to reach back out to him and say, you have a chance to watch that video, right? And so we're going to respond to these guys in real time. And then last one, I'll show you where this guy, he's like throwing up objections from the beginning. So I'm asking all kinds of questions before I sent him anything. And even still, he hasn't sent me his phone number. So I was just actually connecting with him yesterday. But he said, hey there, was reaching out from the post. I was in a sales group about the sales opportunity. I said, are you looking for something currently? He said, it depends on the opportunity. So I'm like, automatically, I'm like, okay, you know, you're reaching out to me, and then you're he's reaching out to me. Sorry, I saw the message come through from Fred. And then he's throwing up objections almost from the get-go. And I said, what's your sales background? And he said, running my own sports and fitness business past 3 years, getting my own clients for that, been in cold sales for digital marketing past 3 months, high ticket closer graduate from Dan Locke. So, he's putting himself out there as a potential great candidate. I said, nice. So what's your ideal sales opportunity? And this is where he keeps coming back with objections. Depends what it is, really. Not selling to family and friends. Can do it on the phone and from home. Good training on the product. Must be legit and not selling something I wouldn't promote personally or what I would take. So I said, tell me more about that. What are some of the things you would be excited to promote? It's just a matter of seeing it. I'm not promoting whatever this is to my audience. And so I'm trying to clarify, right? I'm asking these questions because I'm like, why are you even coming to me if you're throwing out objections from the get-go? In my head, I'm saying that. And so I said, are you looking for something where leads are provided? And he said, I just know my audience isn't the right place for that. Nobody's buying from me. I said, that's scary language for a salesperson to use. Do you have any experience generating leads? He says, yes, I'm referring to my friends on social media. Yes, I do. I said, what's your lead generation experience? Right now, you could tell he's expecting people to just pander to him, to just give him any information that he wants because he asked a question. And I'm continuing to ask questions to find out if there's any real interest there, because so far he hasn't shown me interest. So Kyle said, not sure what the answers you're looking for are here. It's all relative to the situation. Current job is cold calls to businesses. I haven't been given a single lead. I've got at least 500 people to call on, find people to sell the digital marketing to. I said, do you have an interest in real estate investing? And here's where he finally showed some interest, right? He said, definitely. I just don't know a whole lot about it or have any money to invest. It's a down the road goal. It's okay. That's the world I'm in. Do you think you could generate leads for real estate investing education? I said, I don't know why I couldn't, right? You see the change in the tone just through the texts? I said, I can shoot you over an in-depth video for our earnings model. When would you have time to watch it? He said, Friday. I said, what's a good phone number and email address for you? He sent over his email address. So what I'm going to say, and phone number? Because if he won't send me his email address and phone number based on the fact that he's already throwing out all kinds of objections, I have no need to try to pander to this guy, right? I want somebody that's excited about the information, that wants to have a genuine connection. And so that's that. And let's go back to Fred, because Fred is responding back. And then I want to open it up to questions. Oops, real estate investing. I'm not sure how he doesn't know when he watched the video, but I know the video doesn't go into depth on the different education. So that's one thing that I need to send to both him and to Niles is something that explains what the actual education is. So let me switch over here to the chat real quick. I only have a couple of minutes, and yes, I can. Let me go to Niles. So this is from Sandra. She's asking for the link. So I'm going to come over here, and this is the link. It's mytrainingtools.com/comp plan training.html. It looks like you'll want to put that in there. So just post that, copy and paste that, or copy that and put it somewhere where you can watch it and utilize it. So I don't have a ton of time to to make another post that we could engage with on this call, but is there any questions at all? Oh, Keely. So I commented on a post inside a group. So I just went, this popped up as a post inside a group, and it just said, who has something that you could train someone to sell quickly that pays commission of 500 plus per sale? And I just said, I do. It was as simple as that. I just said, I do. And And then he asked, for more details. And I gave him, it's educational products. Send me a PM if you really want to know more. So when you say this to somebody, the interesting thing is you're actually saying it to everybody who's watching this thread. And that's where I had 4 people that sent me a personal message. All right. Thank you, Jess. Appreciate that. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody on here. Again, don't get lost in the black hole that is, Facebook. But if you're going to get in there, you can be very proactive by posting things on your own timeline that will create intrigue, and then going into groups that have your ideal client. Now, these could be entrepreneurial groups. They could be internet marketing groups. They could be real estate investing groups. They could be, obviously, sales groups, what we're talking about here. They could be a group that's just specific to your hobbies, to where you can drop intriguing posts or comments about how you have time to do your knitting all day or whatever it is that you do, right? And so create intrigue. Don't fulfill that intrigue. Ask lots of questions, a minimum of 3 questions to anybody that approaches you on social media, minimum of 3 questions before any type of an invite. So appreciate you guys being on here. Get out there and make it happen.